Davey here, and it's currently day 82. Hopefully, you guys had a wonderful weekend and are doing better than yesterday. Now, this weekend has been pretty cruisy for me, right? Although I went on a hike today, right? I went on a hike with my family. Amazing view, plenty of cardio. It was very exhausting, right? Definitely some needed cardio on a cut because at the moment I am not doing any extra cardio, right? So it was an amazing time. But hiking isn't something I normally do. It's something out of my comfort zone because I am not really an outdoorsy person, right? Now, the reason I am bringing this up is because it was something special that happened today to me. But not only that, is because recently, well, this week self reflection, I uncovered that I have been distracted plentiful times, right? And of course, I have been for the past few weeks. But the reason why I went on this hike was because I realized that if we are going to be distracted anyways, right? If we are going to refuse to do work, or we're going to be reluctant to do work, or maybe we want some break off doing work, right? If we are going to get distracted anyways, make that distraction to be beneficial to you, right? Make that distraction to be worthwhile and to be worth your time, providing you with some value rather than simply just squandering your time away, right? If we get tired, right, we can choose to watch TV, we can choose to watch a movie, we can choose to read books, we can choose to do so many things to distract ourselves from doing this hard and important task, right? But a lot of the times we distract ourselves with something that is easy, accessible. Maybe that's for you watching videos, maybe that's for you scrolling social media. Whatever is easy and provides you with a lot of dopamine instantly, it is our first resort, right? But obviously, we don't want to rely on that. We don't want to become an addict in social media. We don't want to waste too many times chasing TV films or watching too many movies or simply just playing too many video games, right? Those are what I classify as bad distractions. Those distractions will yield you nothing in return, right? They're simply just wasting your time away. Now, we all have 24 hours in our day, right? The time we have doesn't matter. All right. It is what we choose to do with our time that truly matters. One person may have majority of his time wound up into his 9 to 5 job, right? And the other person may have his total day free. Maybe he's still going to school. So he has absolutely majority of his day freed up, right? But compared to those two people, the 9 to 5 worker is ambitious, right? He comes back from work and still uses that 4 to 5 hours to work dedicated into his business. Sure, he has some distractions there and then, but he uses at least 3 hours a day, right, to work on that business. Whereas the high school kid, although he has so many time in his day available, he may not value that time so much, right? He may not be too grateful and squander that time thinking is unlimited. And sure, we all share the same timeline, right? But that teenager, right, doesn't do the important things, right? He will keep on pushing off for tomorrow and just never get anything done, right? So two people both have the same timeline, right? So it doesn't really matter how many time we have, is what we choose to do with that time that at the end matters to us, right? So coming back to me being distracted, being the high school kid, being the college kid, whatever, right? Being distracted by all these gratifications in the world. What I choose to do now, what I found more valuable to me, is to do something. If I'm going to get distracted, right, do something that will benefit me. Go on a walk, go on a hike, right? Have some fresh air. Anything that won't contradict to my identity, right? Anything that won't rob my focus too much. Going on a walk is going to be beneficial for your well-being, right? Sitting by yourself, reflecting over the thoughts of the day, that is going to be beneficial to yourself. Although that is still distracting you from the inevitable, your work, your business, what you need to do to survive, to build, right? This inability you're lacking into improving, whatever this aspect is, you're still avoiding it. But that avoidance is much better than leaning into this bad habit, right? And the only way to eliminate bad habits or stop bad habits from repeating is to fill your schedule with so many other distractions that are not bad, right? To eliminate that habit in general. Once You take too many time out of your schedule to do other stuff, to start new habits. Maybe you want to learn an instrument. Maybe you want to learn how to dance, right? To start all these new habits, we need to take time away from our schedule. And eventually, we're going to start taking time away from the time we used to watch TV, play video games. And as those time are used into something more productive, we will no longer fall into our old habits because we don't have the necessary time, right? This is the wonderful thing about our time. We all have 24 hours, right? It is reality and unfortunate thing that the day is made up of 24 hours. We only have so much of it, but it is what we use in those time that matters, right? So eventually, when you fill up your schedule with the things you want to do, with the things you love to do, but are not yet detrimental to your health and well being, right? Eventually, you have no other time left to do those distracting things. You simply cannot make time for it. Remember, guys, it is okay to be distracted. Maybe you want to be distracted today, maybe tomorrow, maybe you need some time off work, and everybody needs that time to themselves. Just be wary that the distraction you pick for yourself isn't going to be detrimental to your mental being and your physical being, right? Make sure the distraction isn't going to pull you further away from your goals. Make sure that distraction is subtle and yet significantly positive. It's not going to bring any contradiction to what you're already pursuing. It is simply just stepping back from what you're pursuing and stay in a mutual position, right? Find that peace, right? Don't go overboard. Don't distract yourself too much from your initial project, right? Still have the end goal in mind. Just use this little time you have to analyze your thoughts and see if you are going in the right direction and just regather everything you had done in the past week and past month, right? It shouldn't be long and it shouldn't be short. It should be whatever you think is reasonable. 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Anything longer, I feel like that becomes counterproductive because we usually can't think for that long, right? Just sitting or doing nothing or even going on a walk, right? Eventually that becomes too much, right? If we're going to walk for 1 hour, then are we really just taking a break or are we, doing a marathon, right? But this is all I gotta say for today, guys. It's been a wonderful Sunday, and I do hope you guys learned something from this. But if not, that is totally fine because I'll be here tomorrow. And remember, do your self reflection. Bye bye.